Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's Friday Reflections on this Friday, the 13th of May, 2022. I hope everybody is well, wherever you are tuning into this from. And, my thoughts and prayers go out to people that are not in such a good situation, sadly, in some parts of the world. And we are living in very testing times, wherever we are. It is an unfortunate reality of the times in which we live. And so those who are doing a little bit better need to keep that in mind for people who are less well off. And if there's anything that you can do to help such people, then we should do our best to help people. Now, today, I would like to read something from this lovely book, Liberating the Soul, A Guide for Spiritual Growth, Volume 6. This is Volume 6 in this series of books, which is a collection of Sohbets of Mawlana Shaykh Nazim. These spiritual talks were given over a number of years, and this was published in 2007. But the talk may have been given earlier than that. And the one which I'm going to read today is numbered number 7, and it is called The Importance of Tests. So this is called The Importance of Tests. And Mawlana says, sometimes tests are cleaning people, and sometimes they are for advancing in stations. So sometimes tests are for cleaning people, and sometimes they are for advancing our stations. That's our spiritual stations. Mawlana says, nobody is left without tests. Grand Sheikh was saying, I do not leave anyone among my murids without testing. So Grand Sheikh Mawlana Shaykh Abdullah Fayez Dagestani said he didn't leave anyone among his murids without them being tested. Nobody is excused. Everyone is tested. According to his faith power, if powerful, he is given a powerful test. If the powerful test is passed, then comes quick and keen improvement. Tests are according to capacity. Allah has endless tests, and you must be awake and be careful. Some tests are from Allah Almighty. Some are from the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and some are from our Shaykh also. You must be ready to accept the test, to carry it, and be patient. If patient, you approach the divine presence quickly. So Mawlana is saying some of the tests, they come directly from Allah. Some of them come through the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and some of them come through our sheikhs. Now, if we're sincerely on the path, we should be eager for the test. We should be ready to accept the test, because that's part of being on the path. And if we are ready to accept the test and to carry it, if we are patient when things are very testing for us, then we approach the divine presence quicker. So we advance quicker spiritually. We become closer to Allah quicker. Mawlana says our worships are simple and ordinary steps towards Allah, but tests are like comets. If a person is successful, Tests are continuing at every time, not stopping. And every test is going to be against our will's desire. It is difficult to carry it, but if you know that it is coming according to your faith power, then you can be patient. Nothing is coming greater than a capacity, only just to our capacity. So Mawlana is saying there's no rest from having a test. Throughout this life, we're going to be tested. And it's difficult. It's not going to be easy. But the thing is, if you're aware of it, if you accept it, then you can be patient. But each of these tests is going to be against our ego. It's going to be against our willpower. So it's going to be very frustrating for us. It's going to be difficult. Hence why it is a test. But Mawlana is saying that, you know, the normal worship that we do, the normal prayers, is like taking simple steps towards Allah, one at a time, simple steps. But a test is like a comet. So you can take simple steps with your normal worship. But if you approach the test with patience and humility and seeking Allah's help to get through it, you can advance quickly like a rocket or a comet, as Mawlana says here. Mawlana says you must be awake at every moment. If anything comes to you that your ego is not accepting, you must quickly see it as a test. And by knowing it as a test, you may be patient. As long as you are patient, it is an improvement for you. As long as you are carrying it, the next time it will be easier. Steps are towards heavenly stations. So if you are able to keep patient, even if there's not a lot else you can do, but you can be patient. This is the most important thing. If you can be patient in the face of a test, this will help you to carry it. And if you're able to do that, it will become easier to carry these things. And as long as you're carrying it, then these tests will become big steps towards the divine presence. Mawlana says, therefore, it is always important in our tariqah, within our spiritual order, to think about it and look for a test on occasion. So don't just accept the test, but actually actively look for them. If seeing something as a test through inspiration, then you must be patient. Tests are coming from children, husbands, wives, neighbors, animals. There may be so many different kinds of tests. And as long as you are patient, it will be good for you. Grand Sheikh was saying that every day an authorized sheikh must look at his followers at least 3 times. It isn't just looking, but seeing if something unliked by you is coming towards you, something which ego doesn't like. The sheikh is looking and seeing if we can carry it. If carrying, rising. If not, then keeping to the same level or even going down, backsliding. Abu Yazid al-Bistami was quiet and patient with his wife and children. Then he left his house and went around to see which unlike thing was coming to him, seeing if he could carry it or not, saying to himself, if it is in your own village, it is easy. Then you must go to foreign places to see if you can carry that. It is important for a murid to try to reach divine attributes, we must try to be like Allah Almighty in our attributes. Even though all mankind are servants, they are rejecting being servants to Allah, only asking to be servants to themselves, working only for their egos, not for anyone else. But all of us are all of us are his servants. We said that to him on the day of promises. We promised that we will be obedient to you. This is in the day of promises before we were born into this life. What Mawlana is saying here, it's important for the murid to try to reach divine attributes. We must try to be like Allah Almighty in our attributes. What this means is, for instance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim, the most compassionate and the most kind. These are parts of Rahman, of compassion, of kindness, of mercy. We can't be the most compassionate or the most kind, but we can be compassionate, we can be kind. We have the potential within us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of generosity, is the most generous. We can't be that because we are a created being, but we can be generous. As Allah says in the Quran, to give out of that which is given to us. We can do that. So this is what Mawlana is saying. We need to strive to be like that. So we can't be like Allah's attributes in their fullness, but we can be like them in like a smaller way, that which can apply to human beings. Mawlana says, but when we came to this life, we said, do you think we will obey you? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, that promise was not here. But Allah is carrying us, even though we are disobeying. In 1 second, he can destroy all of us. But even so, he is carrying us. As he is carrying us, real servants must be patient and carry others, like Abu Yazid, running to a foreign people to see if he could carry them. But now, a man can't even carry one wife, and a wife can't carry one man, always arguing with each other. We are ordered to be like Allah. He is carrying billions of people. Allah is sending the rains for sustenance. But we are, in our time, such difficult ones. Why aren't we carrying others? We must carry all people. Don't be angry. Perhaps later that person may turn to his Lord. Perhaps that one has a secret rank among people. You can't know. Sometimes he is carrying the whole load of others on his shoulders. So Mawlana is saying, you know, like in this way that Allah is accepting us and tolerant of us, and the fact that we are always breaking our word, always breaking our promises, but Allah still looks after us. Allah still sends the rain. Allah still ensures that we get nourishment. Allah still ensures that this world is sustained. Allah could, you know, quicker than I can click my fingers, Allah could make all of this be destroyed and disappear. Quicker than that. Allah doesn't even need to do that. So Mawlana is saying that we have to try, we can't be like Allah as such, because obviously Allah is Allah. We can't possibly, but you know, Allah is showing us the way. Allah is patient with everybody. We can't be like Allah's patience, but we can be at least a little bit more patient. And if we're a little bit patient, we can grow in patience. If we can not be angry as much as we have been, we can reduce our anger. We can learn to breathe when we are stressed out. Instead of getting angry at someone, it takes time. We're not going to do it overnight, but we can do this. We have the potential for this. Instead of being, as Mawlana says, such difficult ones. And Mawlana continues, Abu Yazid al-Bistami was running to see if he could carry others, but now it is a hard time. We can't even carry one person, our spouse, our husband or our wife. Therefore, the whole of tariqah is good manners, and the best manners is to try to reach to the divine attributes. Most important is to try to carry other people. Look at Noah, alayhi salam. For 950 years, he was carrying his nation. But we on the other hand, are quickly complaining with only one or two people, our spouse and our children. And Abu Yazid says that the meaning of tariqah is to be able to carry people. It is good for a beginner to be patient in his house and family, with his neighbors and with others. Then he may widen his circle to include the whole of mankind. Then you should reach to Prophet Muhammad's station, not prophet, but reaching the same level because you have the same attributes as the Prophet. For every level of Iman, faith, you must accept a test to rise in faith level. And the levels of faith are never ending. Someone asked Mawlana a question and asked, if people behave badly, may we use methods to stop them? Mawlana Shaykh Nazim responded and said, yes, if it is for the education of children or others under our command. But our heart must always be satisfied, saying whether they are educated by our treatment or not, that belongs to Allah. I am only trying to do it correctly. But if it becomes worse, then we give it to Allah and say, you are the only one, Ya Rab, O my Lord, who can do anything. I can't. You know what is best, Allah. So Mawlana is saying that, yeah, obviously, if we're like teaching our children, or, you know, we've got people under our command or students in a college or something, we may have to put in place some actions to discipline them, like with our own children, you know, like take away their phone, or if it's a school or something, put them into detention and make them do extra work or something. But you only do that, you mustn't do it from a, you know, you want to punish them in your heart. You must be doing it simply from the perspective of you care about them, and you're doing it for the sake of Allah, and only because you want the best for them. And you are only doing it because you're trying to teach them. And then if that doesn't work, ultimately, then you can only turn to Allah and say, oh Allah, everything's in your hands. I can't do anymore. And you know best, Allah. So you try what you can do, but at the same time, you always must be aware that everything is in the hands of Allah, and you're just doing what you can to try to teach your children or your students. Mawlana said, our Grand Sheikh told a tale about a man in Bursa. He was a majud, which is one who has lost himself in Allah, an ecstatic, who may be mistaken for insane. So this was a man who was so close to Allah that when people spoke to him, he seemed like he was a mad person, because he was just on a different level completely. So he seemed crazy. And Maulana said, children know these people very well. Every time children were hitting him with stones, and he would slap himself and say, go to your homeland. What does this mean? Sheikh Sharifuddin was asking Sheikh Abdullah Dagestani, if he said he was on the straight path, they wouldn't have hit him with stones. Therefore, when hit, he would say to his nafs, to his ego, return to your homeland. Look at your divine origin. SubhanAllah. So this man was being hit with stones. And people wondered what the meaning of the story was. But this man, he said to his ego, his own nafs, he said, return to your homeland. So when his nafs would try to get angry about this, because obviously he's been hit with stones, you would start to feel angry. But when he starts to see that, when he observed that, this man, he's so close to Allah, he said to his ego, return to your homeland. He reminds his ego that you come from Allah. And the ego's homeland is Allah, is the divine presence. Because everything is created by Allah, and everything comes from Allah, and everything will return to Allah. So this is what this very pious man, who seemed insane because he was so incredibly pious, this is what he said to himself. I hope you found that inspirational and interesting. And please, I look forward to you joining me again next week. I will be doing the Friday reflections on the Friday as usual. On Monday, I won't be doing the dhikr because I will be in London. I have a very important event that I must attend in the Houses of Parliament. So I won't be able to do the dhikr on the Monday at the usual time. So please, if you were thinking of coming to the chaplaincy in person this Monday, don't come this Monday, just this Monday. The following Monday and most Mondays after that, I will be at the chaplaincy to do the dhikr on a Monday evening at 6 p.m, but not this Monday. So what I may do, if I get chance, is one of the evenings at the weekend, I may do that online if I get the opportunity to do it. But it won't be at the usual time on Monday, and this is just a one-off because, like I said, it clashes with a very important event in London. But if I do that, I look forward to seeing you at the weekend for that dhikr, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Friday. I wish you all a very good evening if you're in the UK. Wherever you are in the world, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And have a wonderful weekend. And also, before I go, don't forget, if you find these videos and live broadcasts useful, don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels, where I go live on Facebook and Instagram every Monday and Friday. And I upload the videos to YouTube and my website at paulsarmstrong.com. So you can be kept up to date by going to my website at paulsarmstrong.com, or you put Paul Salahuddin Armstrong in and you'll find my YouTube and other social media. And also obviously on Instagram and Facebook and my website, I post other things other than these videos, which you may find interesting as well. So I wish you all the very best. May Allah bless you all. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.